question when you're 30,000 feet up, what you think of? Oh, I hated knowing that my thoughts would turn to dream, cause I never knew I'd get my chance to link up. Oh, I tell you all of this unusual to me. Swear I came from the bottom, flappers living, walking dead on. But your favorite...
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Carson Wentz and the Philadelphia Eagles. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Hang in there now. Hang in there now.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Now, I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule. Where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. It's brought in by Jeffrey. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Come on now, come on now. Let's go.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Now he steps away. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Everson Griffin able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
81.
They do go for it. It's Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And this is going to be incomplete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position.
Watch the distance. Hey, we're good, we're good, we're good. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Lance 50, Lance 50.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook, working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
On 2nd down, Cook. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle that time by Sidney Jones. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here, because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. This is Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. And he's got it up and through. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Eagles offense back out onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets them a first down.
Now, those are the ones that hurt defensively. You do everything right. Excellent pressure, good coverage downfield, and then he slips out the back door and turns it into a nice gain.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing now is Wentz. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Linval Joseph able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And the pressure gets to him again. Everson Griffin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack. On play action, Wentz. Dancing to his left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this is going to wind up left. Well struck, but it's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Well, they tried the field goal from just inside of 70 yards. It missed, and now this offense set up nicely at midfield. Cousins now from the 50. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 20 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Black.
From the gun, here's Cousins. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Mills. This one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
And right now, Charles, we sit in the thick of preseason, and, of course, that means we're in the thick of fantasy football draft season. So, the top five. It's good to have David Johnson back, Le'Veon Bell, of course, Gurley, Ezekiel Elliott, Antonio Brown, all studs. Who would you take number one in a fantasy draft?
Oh, that's a tough one, but I would look at Todd Gurley and David Johnson as my top two picks. Johnson missed all of last season with a wrist injury, and with potentially a rookie quarterback there and a little bit of a rebuild, he may get more work than he can possibly handle. Todd Gurley was a beast for L.A. last year, running it and catching it. But how about a rookie by the name of Saquon Barkley with the Giants? I think he'll get a ton of touches. And Alvin Kamara, he showed what he could do last year, both running it and catching it, and don't forget, returning it as well. Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play, but there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker, and we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. They stay on the run. Again, it's Ajayi. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. Xavier Rhodes, the cornerback, there in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here we go on 4th down with Wentz. And it is incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided if there was a time to be aggressive, now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. 1:57 to go in this first half. More from Minneapolis after this. And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Cousins in the offense is going to stay out there. They're going to try on 4th down.
Two. Yellow.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And that is going to be incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
You know what? We got a second. I did want to take a look back to the Hall of Fame inductions. Took place in Canton on August 4th. And what stood out to you from the ceremonies, from the speeches that you heard?
Well, for me, beside the speeches, just remembering their careers, I really flashed back at how much I enjoyed watching Brian Dawkins play, and his speech was terrific as well. Robert Dr. Doom Brazil with the Houston Oilers, absolutely loved him as a player. And Jerry Kramer had to wait so long with the Green Bay Packers. For him to get in, I thought was terrific, and I can't wait for next year. first ballot eligible guys, Tony Gonzalez, Ed Reed, and Champ Bailey. That's storm clouds.
Another star-studded cast. And he's brought down. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
They'll run with Clement. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Tackle made by Eric Kendricks. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. An 18-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. Elliott good with a PAT. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. Oh, look at that.
Oh, look at him turn.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave him great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for me. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Well, hey, we got to get in the AFC Week 1 talk. We talked about the NFC and what to look forward to on their schedule, but there's some great AFC games as well.
And many people believe the AFC West is as good a division as there is in the NFL. How about this for an opener? The Kansas City Chiefs headed to take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, the new quarterback for KC, has to deal with the pass rush of Joey Bosa of Melvin Ingram of the Los Angeles Chargers. And a second one that catches my eye is Houston at New England. The Texans always trying to measure themselves against the Patriots. Now they get back Deshaun Watson. They get back J.J. Watt and Whitney Merciless, and they take on the defending AFC champs in Foxborough.
And one crossover game that's pretty interesting. How about Jacksonville against the Giants?
What I like about that one is you have a Jacksonville team that came so close to getting to the Super Bowl last year, but they and the Giants have a similar philosophy about how to play the game. They're going to be physical. They want to run the football. So Leonard Fournette for Jacksonville and the rookie for the Giants, Saquon Barkley, they could both get a lot of carries in that game. And last but not least on that one, how about Pittsburgh at Cleveland? People don't think about that game very much, but this has been the summer of the Cleveland Browns in preseason. Will Baker Mayfield actually hit the field? And can Cleveland start a new era with a big win over Pittsburgh?
A first down throw for Cousins. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Cousins again. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. So after the INT, here's Wentz. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. A final shot before half for Wentz. He's going to air one out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set and ready to go for the second half. 1 touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Zebra, zebra, zebra. Rhino, rhino. Patient.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Jalen Mills getting a hand in there defensively.
Well, hey, switching gears for a second, halfway through the preseason, any big takeaways that you've seen so far, Charles?
Just a few come to mind. Number one, the roster of 90 that stays that way throughout preseason, I think is a boon for every team because you can practice a little bit better, get a few more things done because you have more bodies, and those guys get to get on tape for 4 preseason games. So I think that's really good. The other part is normal execution, struggle a little bit. Early in the season, guys trying to get it back together. And last but not least, the practice of coming together with another team, 2 joint practices before a preseason game, becoming more and more widespread, and you're getting a lot of really good competition and practice with the best versus the best from each team.
Black, black. Wide, wide.
From the red zone now, Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stephon Diggs, an 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6.
How about that touchdown, partner? If you blinked, you probably missed it. I looked away for just a second, and they were in the end zone.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned. Because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. This is Clement. And not much room there as he'll get it up only to about the 21. It's Xavier Rhodes there in on the stop.
Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
81. Lion.
Wentz going to throw. That one caught by Gibson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
On the ball.
On first down, Wentz. He's got it complete to Perkins. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made. And that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
They shakes him off. And now a loose football. The ball comes out. And this belongs to the Vikings.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Again, it's Cook. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe you change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this 2nd half. 1st and 10. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Left side caught by Diggs. Touchdown, Vikings! Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now 21-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Wentz to throw on second down. Being chased out left. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Now Wentz. Flush to his right. Caught right side is Jeffrey. Skirts by him at the 35. And he is out of bounds just a yard or two shy of the 30. And that one results in 35 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 31. Wentz now on 1st down. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't. Got a man open. It's Ertz. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Zach Ertz, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Eagles have cut it back within a score. Elliott good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the 1st downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Cousins now. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. On first down, Murray. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. Tackle made that time by Brandon Graham. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Here we go. Four down. Check. Rhino. Check 43.
A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Let's go. Hey, four down. Black.
Now Cousins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Ryan Quigley now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity?
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Sheldon Richardson in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Back to throw. The connection here with Nelson Aguilar. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Anthony Barr in there to record another sack. Their 6th of the afternoon. And with just over 40 seconds now remaining, he gets up and spikes it. The Eagles on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 19.
Here we go.
Back to throw. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
Let's go.
Now Wentz, got to have this one. He's going to let it fly. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen,
and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. The Eagles on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. They'll look to throw. And this ball is caught. It's a touchdown. And now in the final seconds, they're a PAT away from likely getting this thing to overtime.
yes, sir, that touchdown puts them in striking distance. And let me tell you something, forget being conservative here. Go for it. Go for 2.
Well, going for it on the road. Want to win it right now?
Well, win it right now. Have the momentum. Go ahead and get it done.
A very important extra point there, up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. So here comes the kickoff now, all even here in this 4th quarter. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. Now the Vikings now heading onto the field. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk-reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. Here's Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
That's fielded in the end zone. And now running right through it. Oh, and now he bowls it over. Man, a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. First throw of overtime for Wentz. And he'll hit Jeffrey, complete. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. What they say, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now it's the all-purpose back. This is Darren Sproles. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. The tackle goes there to Linval Joseph.
Shorty.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
In need of a 3rd and 10 conversion to keep this opening drive of OT alive. Working from the gun, Wentz. And Jeffrey's got it. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. An Eagle first down. Wentz hooking up with Jeffrey.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This complete left side to Aguilar. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wentz to throw again. Escaping the pressure right. Got his man there. It's Wallace complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT.
Let's go.
Again, it's Wentz. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd and goal.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. It'll be their 2nd and final timeout, remember, here in overtime. We'll be back. Another chance to maybe end it right here. This is 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it down with Sproles. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. The Eagles hustling to the line, clock rolling. Wentz to throw for it on 4th. And this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line. Well, that's the 4th time that they've tried to go for it on 4th down. They've only converted once, Charles.
And obviously not a good percentage. And if you're going to go for it on 4th down, you think that you've got the right play dialed up. You can't be stopped. Your momentum's going to keep going. But 1 for 4, that tells you that you need to look at things in a different way. And
it's intercepted. Picked off by Corey Graham. He won't get in, but they are going to have the football in a great spot. 1st and goal at the 3-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. They'll try to run with a J. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Brandon, I go ahead and kick it right now. I know it's only second down, but I kick it and give myself a little margin for error here.
Don't wait for third. Have the extra down just in case.
If something goes wrong, messed up snap, anything like that, you fall on it, guess what? It's third down. You still have the ball. You still have a chance to kick it.
The Eagles on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and goal. Now Wentz. Sliding out of the pocket. And he is in for the score. And it is absolute stunned silence here as they win it on the road in overtime. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters, what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. From Minneapolis, so long, everybody.